Today, I'm joined by Cindy Capruo Woullfe, a full-time mom, certified meditation teacher, and wellness advocate who's helping mothers find balance in the beautiful chaos of everyday life. She's also the author of In the Weeds, a guide to saving your own soul on this crazy journey called motherhood. In this conversation, Cindy opens up about her own motherhood journey, the moments that brought her to her knees, the lessons she learned along the way, and how putting herself first ultimately made her a better mom. We also talk about mental health, nourishment, and what it truly means to come home to yourself. So, whether you're listening in the middle of a busy day or sneaking in a quiet moment for you, this episode is a reminder that you're not alone and that there's beauty even in the weeds. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Abby Dominguez. This is Heart to Heart with Abba Gaba podcast, and I'm so glad you're here. I spent over a decade as a nanny and teacher, learning from children and families around the world. Now I bring those lessons to you, heart to heart conversations with people from all walks of life, sharing stories of love, laughter, and resilience that remind us of the power of connection and community. Subscribe today and join our village of heart to heart listeners. Cindy, welcome to Heart with Abagaba.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here today. How are you feeling today? And where am I connecting with you from?
Oh, I'm feeling great and I'm in Connecticut and it's beautiful here in the fall.
Ooh, I miss the East Coast. I used to live in Philadelphia and I moved here. I'm in Mesa, Arizona, so
Ah,
I miss this time of year. But
yes. And when it comes to winter, we will want to be where you are because I have family in Scottsdale.
you do. Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome. Next time you come to town, give me a shout out and I'll
Yes.
get together or something.
Definitely.
Oh, so motherhood can be beautiful and messy all at once. And I can't wait to
Mhm.
hear your insights on the subject. I want to start with this. How did you come up with the idea for In the Weeds?
So I think I came up with it when I was in the weeds.
Perfect.
And I realized that nobody told me it was going to be so hard. And I didn't know that I would feel so lost in it because it was something I always dreamed of. I
Uh-huh.
knew I was meant to be a mom without a doubt, and I was really, really happy when I got pregnant. And it was about a year into my first son. Everything was going smoothly. My husband worked a lot, but I thought I had everything down and I kept the house clean, kept the baby fed, and then I started to find myself sitting alone in the dark after I put my son down and just thinking, what is wrong with me? Like, what is
Oh.
going on? And I just remember feeling a little lost.
Hmm.
And I also felt like I was doing it wrong because it felt so
Oh.
hard to me.
There can be so many voices and noises, huh,
Hmm.
about mothering and how we should do it and how so and so did theirs and the expectations and the milestones. And it can be too much, right?
Yes, overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Yes.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. I love your title, In the Weeds. That says so much. And I think so many moms can relate to being in the weeds. So,
Yes, and it's funny because when I had my second son, I was extra in the weeds because I had two, but by then I had developed some of the practices I talk about in my book. So it was such a different experience. Even though that season was more intense for me, I
mhm.
felt more prepared. I felt like I was more balanced as a parent. So it's very interesting comparing the
Mm.
two different times in my life.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Did that idea come all at once, or was it something that grew over time?
It was something that grew over time. So first, I started putting notes in my phone, like things I would notice or things that I noticed helped me.
Mhm.
And I also had such a revelation that just because it feels hard doesn't mean I'm doing it wrong. So that
Oh,
was like a huge relief to me
yes.
that it's just hard and that's okay. And it's
Mhm.
okay to not always feel okay. Like I
Oh,
gave myself permission for that, and that changed everything.
oh, I can't wait to get into your book. Was there a particular moment or story that made you realize this needs to be in a book?
I think it was so okay. So I have the same story, but it's a little different.
Mhm.
So when we first moved into our new house, I I moved right after my second son was born. So then we were first here in Connecticut. I hadn't started my older son in preschool. My little one was just a tiny baby crawling everywhere. We didn't have the baby gates up yet or anything. And I was thrown back into that overwhelmed feeling. And I remember my friend, she lives in Colorado, and she texted me to ask me how I was doing. And I remember thinking, how am I doing? Like, and I decided to just be honest and tell her I was feeling very lost again. And I thought I had a handle on this and I'm
Mhm.
overwhelmed. And she said, motherhood can be a dark hole sometimes.
Mhm.
And she had two kids older than mine. They traveled a lot. They had this like amazing life. And for her to say that, I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Like there is nothing wrong with me once again. Like
Yeah.
I can do this. And then what happened after that was one of our other friends had babies behind mine. So I remember having a conversation with her and her also feeling so lost. And I passed on what our other friend had passed
Friend.
to me that motherhood can be a dark hole sometimes.
Mhm.
And I realized like that gave her so much relief that I said, how many other people don't know this?
Yeah.
And that's what started me saying, okay, I'm not just putting these notes in my phone for me. I need to
Mhm.
share this information.
Share
And
that.
I also don't want anyone else to ever feel so alone in this because
Mhm.
that is the worst feeling in the world with
It
anything.
is. It is. And
Hmm.
I'm listening to you and I'm so amazed. I'm so thankful for your friend who a simple text, how are you doing? Because oftentimes we have people ask how's the baby doing and baby's so
Yes.
cute and baby's so this. And so I am so thankful that a friend
Hmm.
asked, how are you doing? And I feel like after a baby comes, like we should have support all through, like not just like
Absolutely.
when the baby's here and bring meals and all that. That's fine, great, but like support like at least for a year and beyond. Like I don't know,
Yes.
I'm just
Yes, I write about that actually, that afterwards it's always like,
oh
how's the baby? How are the children? Which for good reason, they're adorable. They need
yeah.
a lot of work, but how's the mom doing?
How's
Like,
the
how are
mom
you doing
doing?
really? And I did have one of my son's pediatricians. Every time we went, she would really look at me and she'd be like, how are you?
I
And I
love
remember
that.
it felt like a giant hug every time. And I was like,
Oh,
thank you so much for
I
asking
love
that.
that. Really,
Yeah.
really. I love when I have a friend who does that consistently, and I'm so grateful for her. It makes me pause and say, how am I doing? How am I feeling?
Right.
Like it, so I can be a better mom to show up for my children. So,
And that's the beauty of it is the
mhm,
better we are doing, the better our kids are. Like it's a direct connection. I
mhm,
think people look at self-care or, that mom culture, like they look at it as an escape, but it's not. It's actually
mm-mm.
part of mothering
It
because the
is.
best you show up, the more you have to give your kids.
I so agree. And I wanted to ask you, what's your greatest lesson from motherhood so far?
Oh, that's good because I have a lot. I always say my kids are like my greatest teachers. I
Oh,
think my greatest lesson has been that I can also love myself
I
unconditionally.
love it.
And I
Oh,
don't think I ever did that before until I started loving these two little beings unconditionally.
mhm, mhm. That
Hmm.
is so powerful. Oh my goodness.
Because we deserve that too.
We do. We
Hmm.
do. Like self-care should never stop. And, I think that by having self-care, we're teaching our children also to pause. And if they need to like read for 5 minutes or have a alone time for 5 minutes or whatever, like it's
Absolutely.
also, um,
Yeah, we're teaching them how to take care of
how to
themselves.
take care of
And
themselves. Yeah.
we're teaching them that they matter, we
Mhm.
matter,
Yes.
and the better job we all do of keeping ourselves whole, the better we all come together as a family. And then we
Mhm.
can hopefully break this cycle of, oh, my mom is so selfless. She never thinks about herself and she always puts herself last and she does everything for us. Like, I don't want that said about me. Like, I do put
Oh,
my kids first, but
yeah.
I take care of myself too.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me if I can share this quick story. This morning, I
Yeah.
went to the gym with my children, and then got them dressed, got them fed, diapers changed, everything. I did pack snacks, extra everything. And I go to the gym and I'm like, I'm so worn out. And I'm like, oh, I don't have a bottle of water. You
Right. You
know,
didn't pack for
I didn't plan
yourself.
for myself. I just went. So thank you for sharing that. I have to remind myself to take time for me, like, okay, grab water, at least get some water, have some food in your
Right.
belly before you go. So that
Right.
highly resonates with me. Thank you so much. You and I are going to be besties someday. And I wanted to ask you, so how has that greatest lesson from motherhood shaped your day-to-day life?
So, what it did, I would say, is one, I felt like I could finally give myself permission to take care of myself. I stopped feeling guilty. I found my voice and
Yay.
I was able to start asking for what I needed, whether it was time or extra sleep. I started really using my voice, whether it was with my husband or like a couple times my mom stepped in to help. But by my second child, especially when I was super sleep deprived and I felt the darkness closing in, I was able to say, I need some help. I need a good night's sleep. I remember my husband asking me, like, what do you want for Mother's Day? And I was like, honestly, I just want to sleep till like
I
nine
love it.
o'clock.
I love it.
And now I've gotten much, once you find your voice, it's hard to stop it.
Oh yeah. I love that.
And whether or not my husband truly understands it, he prefers me happy. So do my kids. So they know, like, if mommy gets her time, she comes back better.
Happy wife, happy life.
I
So they
mean, it's true. We
say.
are the tone for our homes,
Oh
and
yeah,
it can be such a pressure, but it's also a blessing.
it is. And I
Hmm.
heard a quote about our kids' intelligence. How mommy feels is how I forgot. I wish I knew this quote, but I heard something.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. So it's important that moms take care of ourselves so we can show up best for our children, for our families, for
Yes.
yeah.
And
So
like they know if you're faking it. They know if something's going on. Because
oh yeah.
that's where I say I felt the pressure because there were times I was like that Taylor Swift song that's like, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I would sing that to myself. I'm like, I can see they're melting down because I am cranky right
Oh,
now. I
yeah.
didn't get enough sleep. The dinner I ate the night before wasn't nourishing. Like, I
Right.
see their behavior directly reflected
And
from what
from
I'm showing up with today.
yeah, yeah. I could totally see myself doing that too when yeah. That was
Yeah,
one of yeah.
but it's
So,
empowering too because it's like, okay, that's in my control. That's my
yes,
job too. So I'm going to take that job very seriously.
very seriously. It's so much
Hmm.
motherhood is such an important work. And
Yes.
oh my goodness. I wanted to ask, when did you realize your mental health was suffering after becoming a mom?
I think it was really that dark moment in my kitchen where I feel like I'm like I have everything I want. I have everything I ever wanted. There's people with far worse circumstances than I have, and I'm sitting here in my dark kitchen and I can barely get up and function. So like something is amiss here. So I had to go pretty dark before the alarm bells started sounding for me.
Mhm.
And luckily, I was able to get myself out of it, but I am a huge advocate for if you do feel like that dark closing in, and let's say you get a good night's sleep and you get rebalance and you still see that dark, there is no shame in going to your doctor and advocating for yourself just as you would for your child, because some
Yes,
people do need more help
yes,
than
yes.
my book or any self-care can allow.
Yes. Oh, that's so deep. Thank you so much for being open about that.
Well, because we have no trouble if something's wrong with our child. Like we will fight
Mhm.
through fire to get our kids the help they need, and we need to do that for ourselves too.
Hmm. That is so deep. What helped you to begin to recognize it for what it was?
I think the more I started journaling
Oh,
and
journaling.
checking in with myself, trying to hear my own voice again, I realized that a lot of what I was feeling was a disconnection with myself, not
Hmm.
only with who I had been before, but
Hmm.
who I was now. And the more I focused on that, I discovered like a whole nother side to myself. And the
Wow.
more new things I added in, the more I realized what an opportunity becoming a mom is for like finding a whole new side of yourself. Like you might not go back to who you were, and that's not such a bad thing because
Hmm.
maybe there's still so much to be discovered. And the healing that comes, like the healing from your own childhood. I mean, no matter how
Yeah.
you grew up, we all carry stuff from
Oh, yeah.
childhood.
Hmm.
And don't you think like having your own kids, like you you are forced to relive a lot of that.
Hmm.
You are
Hmm.
constantly being triggered.
Hmm.
So the opportunity is really there to dig a little deep and to heal
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
Oh, you are amazing. Cindy, oh my goodness. I love this conversation. I was going to ask you, oh, thank you for mentioning journaling. It is
Hmm.
so important. I need to journal more. Like sometimes we think things are, we're not going to forget stuff, but we do
Yes.
forget. And it's like, oh my goodness, where are the notes to reference or I don't know. And sometimes it helps us discover our strength we had to go through some
Yes.
things we didn't think we could.
Right. I do think
And
too there's something powerful to writing something down. Like I feel like journaling gets a bad rap because it sounds very like artsy, but sometimes I look back at my journals and I'm like, I didn't even know, like, is that me who wrote
hmm.
that? Because you're
Yeah.
literally like asking your inner person to
Hmm.
write that, like what comes out when you put the pen
Hmm.
to the paper is sometimes a voice you can't even hear
Yeah.
unless you're sitting there with a pen and paper.
That is so powerful. Do you just journal like traditionally, like just pen and paper or audio or pictures? Do you do a combination of both or just
I
like,
do a lot of notes in my phone because
okay,
that's what
I
I
love
have
that. I love that.
with me the
Yeah,
most. But then
it's
I do
handy.
take
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time with pen and paper, and I actually included journal prompts in my book. And they're
Oh.
totally optional. Some people can't go there yet, and it should never feel like a job or something you
Hmm.
have to do. But as part of like a daily practice, because I do a daily gratitude practice too. That's mostly what
Oh, I
I'm
love
journaling.
that.
And to me, that's like, those are my mornings now. Like, once I get the kids off, I sit with my coffee and I journal and
I
I do my
love it.
gratitude practice. And it's pretty amazing what comes up sometimes when I look back through them.
I love it.
But I think what people just need to do what works for them, even if it's a quick note in your phone.
Yeah. It might feel hard, but I really wish I journaled more through pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, childbirth. I wish I did journal more. It may feel hard now, oh, I have to journal. But if I do it, now I'm wishing I can still get caught up on what I have moving forward. But anyway, I love journaling. Thank you so much for mentioning that.
Well, and I think it finds you when you're ready. Like you say, you should,
Oh,
but maybe you weren't ready then,
maybe I wasn't ready. That's a good
Yeah, like
point.
maybe it's more of a reflection thing for you where you look back.
Ah. Cindy, you're awesome. You're amazing.
Thank you. But I'm all for like giving yourself grace with
Give
everything.
yourself grace. Oh, I give myself grace right now for not journaling
Yes,
years ago, and I can start today moving forward.
yes, yes.
Awesome. Thank you for that grace. Oh, out loud saying that just really healed me right now. Oh, love it.
hmm
Thank you. What's the best piece of advice you've received about being a mom?
It's funny because when you say that, what comes to my mind is like all the really bad advice. Um, I'm trying to think if anyone ever said something to me that just actually was useful. I feel like I mostly got really bad
Oh
advice.
no. Let's hear
I
it. I
think
want to hear one bad advice.
I can't, oh gosh, I feel like there, I mean, I had one person tell me, don't hold your son so much because he'll get used
Oh
to that.
my
And I was like, what?
goodness.
He's 3 days old. Like, I want him to get used to that.
Oh man.
Um, I don't know. I've always had this like inner knowing sometimes, like even as I'm getting the advice, like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Or I can see it for what it is. Like when you see those cute little old ladies in Target or the grocery store and they see you with your little kids and they're like, it goes so fast. Enjoy every moment. Like I can see that for what it is, that
Right.
nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like that is only advice that can be appreciated when you're on the other side of the giant mountain. Because when you're in the day to day, like it just makes you feel more guilty. Like, why am I not enjoying every second?
Right, right. Oh, I never looked at it that way. Oh my gosh, you bring a very good point. Exactly. Oh
But
my
I do
goodness.
like appreciate the reminder. And I,
Right.
I always thank the sweet little person that's giving me that advice. But I think I can't think of a specific piece of advice, but I
Uh-huh.
think any kind of advice that tells you to trust yourself,
Trust yourself.
that to
Yeah.
do what works for you in your home
Amen.
is good advice
Yeah.
because not everything is going to work for everyone. And the last thing moms need is more pressure. Like, why can't
Yeah.
I do this? Like, so and so does it. Like, you don't need that pressure. It's your baby,
It's your
your
baby.
body, your
Hmm.
home, your rules.
Love it. Oh, love it. Love it. What's the worst? Okay. I want to ask anyway. What's the worst piece of advice about being a mom you've received?
Yeah.
Best and
Hmm.
worst.
Yeah. Well, definitely like sleep when the baby sleeps never worked for me. Like it sounds good in theory, but I feel like we're so programmed as moms to hear every little sound that I felt like I couldn't once they started sleeping through the night, I was okay, but I couldn't really rest while they were sleeping.
Right.
And then I think the don't let him get used to that was probably the worst. I'm sure I have
Oh
some
my
other. I
God.
mean, I can see now where the well-meaning words came from. So I don't fault the people that gave it to me, but I've been very deliberate in the advice I offer to other people. Like I try to just shut my mouth unless they really ask me a direct question. So I think any unsolicited advice is never a good idea for a new
Yeah.
mom.
How do you separate the noise from the wisdom?
That's good. I think that if you read something and you feel yourself exhale,
Hmm.
you know that is something that is speaking to your soul, that
Hmm.
it's something that would work for you or gives you some feeling of peace. And I think if you see advice that comes from a place of like comparison or makes you feel not good enough, that's not the piece for you. That's the noise. That's the
Right.
chatter, and you
Hmm.
don't need to pay attention to that because you
Yeah.
don't need to be doing what everyone else is doing.
Amen. Amen to that. I've said I'm gonna say amen. And I'm sure most moms listening will nod to that.
Amen. Yes.
I want to know this. Oh my gosh, I need a new recipe. What are your go-to recipes to nourish yourself? I like the word nourish.
Yes, yes. So it's funny because when I was single, I had a roommate who had a crock pot, and I would like roll my eyes so hard at it. And as soon as I got pregnant, we got a slow cooker, and I use that thing all the time. So I would say I have a four bean chili recipe that I
Ooh,
love because it's very easy to make and it lasts for days. And for me, that works well with my body. It makes me feel like comforted, but full, but
hmm.
delicious because I put a little cheese and sour cream. So that's
Ooh,
definitely one of my go-tos. And then any kind of soup, like butternut squash soup or any kind of very simple soup is like good for my soul for sure.
that sounds delicious, and it's soup season.
Yes, but I could eat soup all year
Oh yeah,
though.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that it's so simple and nourishing. Beans are brain food, like good.
Yes.
maybe I'm gonna adopt that. I'm gonna adopt a
Well, I
recipe.
mean, again, you have to find what works for you. I think trying to diet or anything when you have a new baby is not a good
It's
idea.
not a good idea.
No, but you're right. Your body needs to heal. Is that what you're going to say?
Oh, your body needs all the nourishment you can get. So
Yes.
dieting and newborn, no. Your body,
No.
the body just went through a lot. You
Yes.
brought a human being or human beings into the world. And so the last thing we need is diet. Like let the
Right.
body be, eat all the good food you can and so the
Yes, and
most
as many real foods as you can, because I think those are the
yes,
most healing, but also like what's your treat? Like what brings you joy? Like add in a little treat too. Like this is the time to take care of yourself.
take care of yourself. Yeah.
And the more you nourish yourself, the better you feel. And I think it also needs to be said, like there's a huge push for mommy wine culture, like those cups that say mommy juice. And I am not against drinking at all, but I think you do need to be very honest with yourself and say, like, do I feel my best in the morning if I drink this many drinks? Do I, like for a while,
Mhm.
one glass of wine at night kept me sane. When my boys were little, I would have a glass with dinner. I would look forward to it all day. But then over time, I was like, you know what? I don't sleep my best when I have wine. So now I save it when I go out to dinner, when we're on vacation, but it's
Mhm.
different for everyone. So I think
Yeah.
it's a nice chance to take an honest look at what you're putting in your body and how it makes you feel because it's not the same for everyone.
Me and my quick stories. I want to share a quick story to encourage
Yeah.
moms to nourish ourselves. I remember when I was nursing, I didn't take care of myself really. I gave and gave and gave, but my supply was not good. And my doctor
Mm.
did recommend this high caloric formula, and I'm like, no, I will eat the calories. I will eat well so that I can supply my baby. And so I went back to when I first came home as a new mom and the foods I ate, and I did that, nourished myself, good food.
Hmm.
And guess what? My supply amazingly was, you know, was good, was great. So
Yes.
nourishing, I love the word. I can't say enough. We got to take care of ourselves and do what's best for us and eat
Yes.
good food. Anyway, I,
Yes, definitely.
yes, I want to know. So going back to self-care and all the good stuff that we can do for ourselves, how did things change for you when you began to put yourself first?
I think things began to change because I wasn't as mad at my husband when he would go out for like a fancy sushi lunch or have drinks after work because I knew, okay, I have my time too. So I think the biggest change was I wasn't as angry and I was more connected to my baby because I felt good.
I love that. Oh my
And
God.
it's like really empowering once you decide to very consciously make choices that are only for you. Like I'm
Mhm.
doing this because it's good for me.
Because it's
And
good
I,
for you.
yeah, I think
Yes.
that's really empowering. And then you're not resentful of the people around you. You're not resentful when you have to pick up your baby a million times a day because you're a little more, or I at least felt a little more full. So I
Yes.
had much more to give without
Mm,
being so angry because I
yeah.
wasn't expecting the anger that I felt
Hmm.
and the
I,
resentment that was starting to build.
I think so many moms wrestle with that, with the guilt around that.
Yes.
I, oh, my words are gone. I had so much thoughts for my words.
Mom brain.
Mom brain, mom brain, mom brain. Was it gradual or did something click for you?
It was very gradual
Very
and
gradual, yeah.
yeah, because it felt like meaningless at first. Like the little things I was starting to do felt like little things. And then what made me really realize was if a day came that I didn't have one of my little rituals, or
Hmm.
let's say I gave up one of my practices, I noticed a difference. So
Hmm.
that's when I was like, okay, these little things are really making a difference. It's so tempting if you're in a dark place or you're feeling lost to like want to do all these giant changes.
Hmm.
And you can't do that when you're a mom. You do have your hands literally full. So there's only room for tiny, small changes, but man, they add up and they're the ones that are sustainable. Because
Hmm.
they're so small, you can keep them going and they make a really big difference.
They make a really big difference. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, I had a thought about self-care. So before our babies came, say we used to love going to the gym. We used to love things that
Mm,
we used to do to bring ourselves self-care, right? And our
yes.
babies are here and we can't do those things anymore. I think there's a disconnect from what we, it's going back to that true self of us that loves
Yes.
to do. Anyway, my mind is going and I see a point in a whole, I get the whole picture in my head and I'm trying to express, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I do. And I can add to that actually because
Please.
I was always a person that I enjoyed working out. That was an outlet for me. What I did was when my second baby was little and my first son was 2, I found this article that talked about, I think it was in like Runner's Magazine or something, and it talked
Mhm.
about doing a mile a day challenge. So literally
Mm.
you just run 1 mile every day, whether it's on a treadmill, your driveway. I would sometimes even do laps
Oh,
inside my house. And I was like, how am I going to have time for this when I have 2 little kids? And I said, but you know what? I need to feel strong again. I'm going to commit to it. And boy, what a difference that made.
what a
And I
difference.
made it work. And it became fun for my oldest to come outside with me. We'd bring the baby
Oh,
monitor outside and do laps in the
oh,
driveway. Or I'd put the kids to bed or for a nap and go run in my basement. But something about committing to that 1 mile a day, which can be insignificant to someone else, it was like my first real step to I need to do this for myself.
oh my
And from
God.
there, I just sort of added on and I was still able to work my body, but it looked different.
It
Like
looked
maybe there's a jogging stroller, or maybe it's more
right.
walking with the stroller or lifting weights and like making
Uh-huh.
funny faces at my son in his boppy chair. But there is something that comes from physically feeling strong
Feeling
and taking
strong.
care of
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. You inspired me. You inspired me. I love that. Thank you so much for
Plus,
sharing
kids are
that.
amazing weights. Like, I feel like I got stronger just from lifting them all the time.
They
And you
are.
have to be strong to carry that car seat
Oh
around.
yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
is no easy feat.
It is not, nope, it's heavy and even with no child in it, it's just heavy on its own. And let's add a child. Yes.
I know when I see moms now, like with it in the crook of their elbow, I'm like, oh, I feel for you. Like, because that was just so hard.
I could never do that elbow thing. I just,
Yeah,
anyway,
there's like no graceful way to handle it.
yeah. Do you still have moments that bring you to your knees?
Oh, absolutely. That's another thing. Like, it's never done. It's never like, okay, now I figured it out and everything's fine. Like, if anything, so my son turned 11 2 days ago, and then my
Aw.
youngest is 8. So what I have found is physically things got a little easier because I'm not picking
Mhm.
them up as much. I'm not worried
Right,
as much they're gonna like run into traffic.
right.
But the problems really do get a little harder. Like
Hmm.
parenting, I don't think ever becomes much easier. If anything, it becomes harder. So the more balanced I can be, the more I can handle the inevitable hardness that's coming. So I don't think it's ever done. Like your
Hmm.
work is never
It's
done.
never done. Yeah.
No. And maybe, maybe I use a lot of the same tips and maybe I've adjusted some of them, but I don't think it's ever done. You've never like solved it and now you're cured.
Hmm.
Which is
Hmm.
also good news because you still have permission to constantly take care of yourself.
Yes. Thank you so much for being honest about that. Sometimes we think those moments just disappear.
Right. They
Oh my,
don't. They
they
just
don't.
change shape.
They change shape. Yep,
Yeah.
they do. They change shape. I was going to ask you, you mentioned that a little bit, but I wanted to ask you, does parenting ever get easier? We just said that, but do you have
I
any more
don't think
thoughts on
so.
that? I don't think so. Does it get
I
easier?
don't think it gets easier. I think it changes
It changes
form.
form.
And
Yeah.
I think you get stronger, like we get stronger. And I think the moments get different. I think as your kids become people, first of all, I believe children come to this world exactly who they are
Uh-huh.
and with all of their personality. Like we can shape them a little, but they are who they are. So I think even though it gets harder, it gets even more beautiful as you watch this
Oh,
person, that you want to hang out with,
I
that you
know.
want to have conversations with. Like my
I
11-year-old
know.
teaches me things. Like he loves nothing more than to prove me wrong. And he does it so often. And I'm so happy that he does because I'm like, this is amazing that like I grew this person and now he like
Oh,
knows more than I do a lot of the time.
oh. It gives them power when you let them
Yes.
tell you, like, oh, I taught my mom that. I don't know, like,
Right. Or
it
like
gives them
he'll
power.
say he can do something and I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work. And he does it.
And
And
he
I'm like,
does.
there we go again. Like he just I think you
Oh,
become more in awe of who they
oh, in
become.
awe of who they
Yeah,
become.
so even though it's
Oh,
harder, there's something really beautiful about it as you watch them
mhm.
flourish and become people.
Yes,
And people you
yeah.
can like have real conversations
Real
with
conversations with. Oh my
and play
goodness.
games with, and you don't
And
have to
play
let them
games
win
with.
anymore.
With I know, right? Oh, I love how you mentioned beautiful and awe and like just watching them and oh, the things they do and say. And,
And that's why I think too, like the more balanced you are, you see that clearer because you're not resentful,
yes.
you're not exhausted, you're not tuned out, you're present, and you don't miss the good stuff,
Yeah, because how can we receive those awe things when we are like stressed and
right? Or shut down or
sleep
tuned out.
deprived or tuned out or yeah.
Hmm.
So, oh my
Because
goodness.
the more you strengthen your relationship with yourself, like I feel like I can really be fully present with my
Hmm.
kids.
I love
And
it.
I think if you're struggling or you're exhausted or you're not meeting your needs, you can't be present.
You
It's like
can't.
if you what like times you don't feel good, you can't think about anything else.
Yes, this circles back to self-care.
Yep.
Ladies, self-care. Let's take care of our needs, ourselves.
We
Let's,
matter too.
yes, we matter. Let's
We
take
might maybe
care.
we might matter the most, honestly.
I know because how can we give? How can we,
Right.
from an empty bucket? We can't.
Right. You can't. Or
Hmm.
if you do, it's not anything you
It's
want to
not
give.
exactly. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. How has the advice shared in the weeds shown up for you in your life outside of motherhood?
Oh, that's a good question because I think so many things, like even when I was writing this book, I find myself adding at the end of each daily practice, like this also transfers over to other parts of your life. I think the biggest thing would be learning to not really care what other people think.
Hmm.
So it's come very easily for me. I don't think it's come as easily for other people, but I think once you have a child and you just prioritize your connection with your child, because
Oh, love that.
walking around with your kid, there's always going to be judgment. And
Oh,
especially
yeah.
me with two boys, like I can tell like some people just have no understanding what boys are like. Some people don't like kids. Some people
Hmm.
have trouble with their own fertility, and then you're the
Hmm.
reminder of that. So
Yeah.
that judgment is not going anywhere. And the more you can
Hmm.
just prioritize your connection with your child and
Oh,
block out that noise, the stronger you become, and then the stronger you become in other areas of your life. And I don't mean not being considerate because you want kids who can be considerate, but being considerate and worrying about what other people think are two very different things.
oh, Cindy, I love that. And this is going to be ringing in my head. Keeping our
It's very
connection with our
liberating.
children, this will be going to be lingering. This is what I needed. What a beautiful closing. As I will encourage people to listen to this podcast, this particular episode over and over again, because it's really good. Cindy, you are so wonderful at what you do. And I want to
Oh,
thank you.
thank you.
Oh, and thank you so much for this heart to heart and for reminding us that motherhood isn't about perfection. It's
Oh,
about
never.
presence. Oh my goodness. I want to know your social media. Zoom says we have 1 minute. We can nail this.
My
Thank you so much, Cindy.
website is cindycapriowolf.com. There's all links there. The book is on
Mhm.
Amazon, Walmart.com, and barnesandnoble.com. And then on Facebook, it's In the Weeds. And on Instagram, it's In the Weeds. And there are other In the Weeds books. So it should say something about motherhood because it's In the Weeds,
Motherhood.
a guide to saving your own soul on this crazy journey called motherhood.
I just love it. And I'll be sure to put all that in the show notes as well so that
Awesome.
listeners can follow us even after this conversation is over. Oh my
Amazing.
goodness, Cindy, have a beautiful day. And thank you so much again for visiting me today on Heart to Heart with Abagaba. And I hope we connect again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This was wonderful.
I want to thank Cindy for sharing her heart, her honesty, and wisdom with us today. In the Weeds is such a compassionate guide for moms everywhere who are doing their best to stay grounded through the ups and downs of motherhood. To my listeners, I hope today's conversation leaves you encouraged to pause, breathe, and care for yourself as tenderly as you care for your little ones. You can find In the Weeds wherever books are sold and connect with Cindy through her website. And I'll be sure to put all that in the show notes. Until next time, remember, we grow through what we go through, even in the weeds. Take care. Thank you for sharing this space with us on Heart to Heart with Abagaba. I hope this conversation inspired you to keep moving forward in hope and light. If this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone you love. Leave us a review and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a moment of inspiration, connection, and joy. May your home be filled with peace, your heart with joy, and your spirit with the quiet strength of love. Until next time, take care of your heart, take care of each other, and keep celebrating the love that makes us family.